Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having an awesome day, awesome afternoon. Guys, wow, what is going on in the digital asset space? What? The SEC and Clayton getting together with some very, very smart, influential dudes in the macroeconomic space. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. We're going to talk about, I think, something that was missed throughout that whole hour in 5 minutes, hour and 8 minutes. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I know this is football Sunday. I know that's cool. Paul Walker's like, Siege, take a day off. Yeah, bro. You know, it's about that market share, right? When people are resting, you go to work, right? That's how you snatch up the market share. How you doing, Paul Walker? Hope everything's good with you. I'll tell you what, man. There's exciting times right now. Without question, there's exciting times in the digital asset space. Things are moving forward, and I find it interesting, the timing and the release of that video. I love it. I love it. You know, I've said this before in the stream that, you know, we are at a point in time in history where they can't, you know, behind the curtains is doing things behind the curtains is occurring less and less and less and less and less, right? Because this advent in innovation and technology is just making more and more things available and accessible to the average Joe and James, and I love it. Absolutely love it, without question. I did not get on Twitter today, so I don't know what's all going on. What is good with Twitter today? I don't know. I've not had a chance to check any of that out to see what's up. I'm waiting for a few more people to hop into the stream here before I get into things. But I got to tell you, I think the market is doing pretty good. I think I checked it early this morning. Bitcoin was over 8,000. So that's a good thing. The weekend seemed to be a little, I think, a little misleading. So I'm very, very curious to see how Monday and Tuesday is going to work out, how that's going to play out. I'm still thinking that, according to my TA friends, the spring, early, late spring, I'm not sure which one, is when we can expect to begin to see the altcoin pump, begin to see it. Not Chosen. What's going on, Not Chosen? How are you, my friend? Hey, Crypto Siege. Hey, Room. Xrp #1, August 2020. That's right, my friend. How you doing today? Not Chosen. Good to see you in the stream, man. Tony Bomboni is in the building. What's going on, dude? I'm in, Siege. How are you? I'm doing outstanding, brother. Hope things are going well with you. It's a good time to be in the digital asset space. It's a great time to be an XRP hodler if you happen to be one. I can tell you that for sure. How cool is it to know that we are early adopters in this digital asset space, that we're in this thing before the 99.999% of the masses? Isn't that cool? We are playing and winning a game that the masses don't even know is being played. That, my friends, puts you in the top 1% of 1%, and I'm hoping that financially that will be the case for you as well. Tony Bomboni's like, I'm a super hodler. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I don't know what's going on with football today. I don't know what time games are on. I know we're competing a little bit with football Sunday, but that's cool. We got to get this in for sure. I know yesterday games started at 4, so I was supposing that they would start at 4 today, but probably not. It's always so hard to say when the game's on. There might be some games on right now. Now that I think about it, hopefully these notifications. Did you guys get a notification about the stream? I know the last couple, 3 streams, people are like, I did not get any notification at all. Like nothing. So hopefully that is working. Did you guys get a notification about the stream? So Aiden Traden, the young superstar that he is always so kind of his time and energy and the resources. Tony said, I did not get one. Wow. Who's always so kind with his time, his energy, and his resources to do streams for us in the XRP community. Did a great stream. You know, did the stream on they're calling it, what did they call it? a fireside chat, right? With Jay Clayton, Glenn Hutchins, and Gary Cohn. Aaron M. What's up, Siege? What's up, dude? How you doing, Aaron? How you doing today, man? Are you excited about being an early adopter in the digital asset space, Aaron? I chosen. It's like I just buy more XRP every opportunity. Small amounts soon will set me free, without question. Absolutely. That financial freedom is going to be a really, really cool thing for sure. And hopefully that financial freedom, if you're in that market to set up generational wealth, that will be a cool thing as well. Marco Polo's in the building. Hi, Siege. What's going on, Marco Polo? Dustin Dio is in the building. What's up, Dustin? Siege, my brother. Hope all is well today. All is outstanding, brother. Hope everything's good with you, man. How blessed are we to be early adopters in this digital asset space? And by the way, guys, I'm still not giving up on the idea that Ripple might do an IPO and then do a subsequent asset swap. I'm not giving up on that one. I do not hold XLM. That's the deal. I do not. I tell you what, I cannot remember if it was whose stream it was. It was somebody's live stream. And in the chat, they were imploring people in the chat and the person doing the stream, I don't remember who it was, to go to Coinbase and see what they were saying about Stellar. This was like immediately after we found out that Stellar decided to just burn all the rest of their tokens. But I did not see anything on Coinbase about that. But it was definitely in a stream. Initially, I thought someone said that in the Telegram chat, but I believe it was in a stream as well. But I haven't seen it. Nick Miranda, what's going on, Nick? How are you? What's good, Siege? Anybody know how to buy Stellar Gold? Stellar Gold? I've never heard of Stellar Gold. Steve Jackson is in the building. How you doing, my dude? Hey, man, what is good, brother? All is good, man. Life is good. What's up with CSC? It's been frozen 3 days now on BitTrue. Wow, is that right? I didn't even know. I guess I'd forgotten that Casino Coin was on BitTrue. Was not aware of that. Dustin's like, I have both, like Crazy and VeChain. I hear you. I definitely do hear that. What's VeChain? I mean, what is Stellar, like 4 cents? Stellar seems to be the mystery thing for me. Like, people are saying it's good, people are saying it's bad, people are saying Jeb's crazy. I heard this crazy thing. Apparently some kind of crazy thing was going on with Coinbase and Stellar in terms of them. I don't know if they were something about the 7 people were doing something that was not good with Stellar, doing something in terms of hurting the holders by doing something with it. But I don't know. Crypto Delivery, what's going on, man? Life is good. Crypto Delivery, good. Glad to see you in the stream. Guys, 28 people in the stream and 8 likes. If you didn't get a chance to smash the like on the way in, just collapse that chat real quick. Go smash the like and then come back and hang out. Yeah, I've never heard. I don't know what Stellar Port is or Stellar Gold. I don't know what those are. Nick Miranda, I don't know what that is. Unfortunately, I don't know. But guys, this whole thing with the fireside chat this morning was very, 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 very interesting. Now, I got the message on this a couple days ago, I believe from Darren Moore's. What is it? I believe it was from Darren Moore. It might have been just a notification from Aiden Train that he was going to do it. But I didn't listen to it until this morning. And then I finished it up this afternoon. William Leather's in the building. What's going on? Happy Sunday to you, William Leather. Good to see you, my friend. Win Mullet is in the building. What's going on, bro? Oh, my gosh, Win Mullet. You're saying that? See, I've had 3 people say that in the stream already, too. I don't know, dude. No notification again. I guess what I'm going to have to do is maybe do a post do a post 15 minutes, 30 minutes ahead of time of the stream. So maybe you guys will get that post. But I just don't know why people aren't getting notifications. And the only thing I can think of to do is to, and so you unsubscribed and resubscribed last week. What about the notification? Did you turn that notification off and then turn it back on again? The Matt Baumensauer says, I got the notification. So it's interesting. Very, very interesting. Good to see you in the stream, Matt. 38 people in the stream, only 17 likes, guys. We're trying to do our thing with the algorithm on YouTube. If you're enjoying the conversation, you're enjoying the chat, just X out of the chat real quick, smash the like, and then come back and hang out. Yep. So Matt is saying, yep, unsub and resub the bell. So that's what, did you see that one, Mullet? Frog in the Well, what's up, Siege? What's going on, Frog in the Well? How are you, bro? Hope life is treating you swell, dude. Crypto Delivery YouTube is cleaning house, huh? Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they are. So kind of the big news this morning, and I think yesterday as well. Shout out to Aiden Trading. Oh, okay. So when you unsubscribe, the notification goes off too. It's no big deal. Yeah, absolutely. And so all you got to do is kind of when you unsubscribe, just try and do it again. Sub and then do the notifications again if you didn't. But that's the only thing that I've heard to try to do. I mean, it feels like it's just a YouTube thing. Man, it's like I delicately tapped the like. All right, I appreciate that, man. Legendary's in the building. What's going on, Legendary? Says, howdy, Siege. How are you, bro? Life is good. So I said something in my driving video this morning that, I think a really, really big thing was kind of missed because on the SEC with Clayton and Cohen and Hutchins, because everyone was kind of paying attention to the panelists and really didn't really pay attention to I don't know if she would be the moderator or the lady who did the initial introduction of the panel, but she had some significant things to say there. And I guess what, guys? I get to try to play a video on this laptop without having to use my phone. So we're going to test this thing out. And if it works well and if it works good, that the aux cable tied into my Bluetooth speaker, if it works good, then it means the challenge is in the OBS settings. If it doesn't work good, that means that the challenge is in the computer settings somewhere. So we shall find out, guys. It's getting real this year, David Rudder, without question. I saw that, dude. I saw that. He's a intense guy, right? Sharp too. Lots of new names today. Welcome everyone. Hit the like. Yeah, sir, Captain Sticks. What's going on? How are you? Press Crypto Delivery's like press all for notifications. Yeah, I usually always do the all one just to kind of make sure. Rasan is in the building. What's going on? What's up with you, bro? Harley Cash. What's up, my friend? Crypto Siege. Dude, what's going on, bro? Good to see you here, my friend. Gary Brown's in the building. Hey, what's going on? How's it going, bro? Good to see you in the stream, Gary. If you guys haven't had a chance to gently tap the like button on the way in, just collapse the chat real quick. Go hit the like and then come back and hang out. Yeah, so guys, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Clayton was looking like the student, LOL, because he is, man. In the end, I mean, he gets to oversight some stuff, but when you, and I'm sure he's had a chance to invest as well, but not at the level that a Glenn Hutchins or a Gary Cohn. I mean, you could definitely tell. Not that Clayton's a slouch. He's not a slouch by any means, but he was certainly in the student's seat during that fireside chat, without question. But guys, did you catch the things that the lady, I believe her name is Holly, I don't know her last name. Did you catch some of the things that she said in the intro prior to her introducing the panelists? Did you guys catch that? I'm very content to be here in the chat real quick. Bull trap coming February 2020. Quick rise and drop. How about that, Harley Cash? How about that? We'll be on the lookout for that, my friend. Passionate Rick is like, Clayton is a tool. 57 people in the stream. What is going on, guys? 30 likes, only 30 likes. Guys, let's keep this channel up there in the algorithm with YouTube. And it helps to do that by smashing the like button. Helps to get the stream out to more people that are perhaps not in the space, that are looking. And hopefully, after they do their own due diligence and do their own homework, they discover the greatest digital asset ever created. And that is XRP. Let's test this out, guys. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if this audio issue is my laptop or if the audio issue is in the OBS software that I use. Let's see what's good. I make sure I didn't miss anyone coming in. Hello, XRP Lane. How are you, my friend? Sir Captain Six was good. I think I said what's up to you as well. Frog, Rasan. I think I caught everybody coming in. So yeah, let's thread work. Derek, what's good, dude? Aaron M. I said hi. I said what's up to Aaron and to Marco Polo and Chosen Ogre. So we're good. Let's go check this out and see what's up. You guys get to test this thing with me as well. We're gonna test this thing together. Let's see. Check out what Holly has to say. Not Chosen's like, I can hear you in Ireland, man. Yeah, so the challenge has been Not Chosen is with playing any kind of videos or any kind of audio from my laptop. So let's see if it's going to work this time. This is Holly kind of, her little introductory speech. Not little, it was a significant speech to me. And our introduction to the panel. Let's see if this works. She hasn't started yet, guys, so don't worry. The video hasn't started yet.
I am pleased to be here today to join our first panel, Global Macro. For my panelists, we'll be discussing this global macro and more broadly, both markets are operating. One strike that which now fourth in the United States, outstanding and almost 50%. Now, the increase in debt factors delving in. For example, further global regulators, highly liquid assets, especially low combination has contributed, including in addition direct investments that have with investment. Our report from 2000, the percentage of to 8.6, while the percentage of and 5% to 18%. This shift, however, though, these connections include exposure based for both lines of credit and as counter exposures of equity securities overlap stocks and clearing bank balance sheet capacity client clearing interconnected leverage but the conversation and should be done with it. There are a few other shifting. For example, increased global. This is why we advances in innovation. With that, however, heightens as well as and digital. The growth and it also has common owner. To be clear, to have investment that said shifts in recognize, modernize, maintain, facilitate. As regulators, I believe effectively we don't operate in important tool in that regard, help keep the impact. Let me now.
Sound was not good? No sound. How is that possible? How is it possible there is no sound? Huh. So you guys could not hear that. Now I could hear it fine, but you guys could not hear that. But when I play it from my phone, audio sucks, 1 word and 10 only, it cuts in and out. No sound, song was horrible, no lie, there was sound, but it was cutting out every 5 words. Okay, so here's the deal. Then that does mean that it is the OBS software, not the speakers. Because when you guys, the whole video was bad audio, right? So it's the settings in the OBS. Good morning, Siege. Derek P, what's going on, man? Yeah. One moment saying copyrights. It's from the YouTube video, right? I will find this video later. Thanks, Siege. Absolutely. So that is the deal. That's the challenge. Close the tabs and reopen. No, that's not it. That's not. Thank you, Harley Cash. But see, that's the issue. The issue is it's the OBS setting. So I needed to find out if it was the OBS or if it was my if it was the laptop, because you guys probably know, who guys have been churning into the channel, when I play it from my phone and use my Bluetooth, it works fine, right? Works fine. So it's something in the OBS settings that I have to figure out.
Our mission. Let me now turn.
Right. So that's what it is. So, and now I know. Harley Cash has jokes, man. Harley Cash said, the issue is pay the internet bill, right? Very distorted. Yeah. So that's what it is, guys. In the end, it is it's the settings in the OBS Studio software that I use, because when I play the audio from my phone, it works fine. When I listen to, what's the word? When I listen to YouTube videos from my computer and my laptop, they play fine. It's only when this OBS, so the X factor is the OBS Studio when I use it to play video. So that is what I have to figure out, and I have not been able to figure it out. And I appreciate you guys letting me know. Gucci Girl's like, the sound was horrid. So I am going to play that for you guys here using my phone, but I'm going to set up my set it up on my phone and use my holder, my phone holder, so you guys can hear it. Because I'm telling you, it is so significant that you definitely want to check it out. Don't worry, guys, I got you. Don't worry. So now it's going to be a few seconds before it starts to play. It'll be a few seconds before it starts to play. So don't think it's not working yet. Cuts in and out. That's definitely good to know. Gucci Girls like that. Yo, that sound was terrible. Good morning. Who said good morning? Derek P said good morning from Darwin, Northern Territory, Australia. Good to see you here, Derek P. We don't need to see it, just hear it. Hi, everybody.
I am pleased to be here today to join SP in welcoming you and to introduce our first panel, a fireside chat on current global macroeconomic trends affecting our capital markets. From my vantage point in regulating the asset management industry, there are really few topics as important as the one our distinguished panelists will be discussing this morning. Global macroeconomic trends have resulted in big changes in the asset management industry and more broadly in our capital markets. Both market participants and regulators are operating within a new and evolving landscape. One striking aspect of this landscape is the level of global debt, which now stands at approximately $250 trillion, or 320% of the world's GDP. In the United States alone, outstanding non-financial corporate debt is nearly $10 trillion and almost 50% of the U.S. GDP. Now, the increase in debt is driven by various factors, and I'm sure the panel will be delving into that. For example, monetary easing by central banks has resulted in interest rates at historic lows. Further, global regulators have encouraged banks to hold highly liquid assets and less corporate debt, especially lower-rated debt. The combination of monetary policy and regulatory constraints on banks has contributed to a migration of debt investments from banks to other holders, including funds. In addition, direct household investments in debt have declined, with investments through funds accounting for some of that change. Our report from our Division of Economic and Risk Analysis summed this up with the following observation. From 2009 to 2016, the percentage of corporate and foreign bonds held by households decreased from 2% to 8.6%, while the percentage of corporate and foreign bonds held by funds increased from 8.5% to 18.3%. This shift makes it more critical than ever that we understand the connections between banks and non-banks, and from my perspective, banks and funds. These connections include exposure of banks to funds through both lines of credit and as counterparties in derivatives and other transactions, exposures of funds to banks through holdings of equity securities, overlaps in portfolio holdings, particularly holdings that are more susceptible to liquidity shocks, and clearing bank supply of balance sheet capacity to permit client clearing. Interconnectedness, leverage, and liquidity are all topics we have talked about for years, but the conversation should not be static and should be done with the evolving market in mind. There are a few other areas where the shifting landscape requires an adaptive regulatory approach. For example, increased globalization has intertwined domestic and foreign markets and policy considerations. This is why we at the SEC spend a great deal of time working with our international counterparts, including through organizations such as the FSB and IOSCO. Advances in technologies have enabled efficiencies and innovations in recent years. With that, however, comes heightened cyber risks, as well as new business models and products, including robo-advisors and digital assets. The growth and evolution in the asset management industry has increased opportunities for investors. It also has given rise to public debates about concentration risks, common ownership, and the effects of index investing, to name a few. To be clear, observing the activities or risks have changed is not to offer an assessment on whether these changes are good or bad. That said, change does mean that market participants and regulators need to reevaluate risks continuously and make the necessary shifts in risk management and oversight. Recognizing change and modernizing oversight to meet that change will enable us here at the SEC to meet our mission to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation. As regulators, I believe that we have to work harder and use all available tools more effectively in this changing landscape. We don't operate in a vacuum, of course, so one important tool is engagement with market participants. In that regard, events such as today's conference help keep us informed of market developments that impact our mission. Let me now turn to our distinguished panelists for their take on macroeconomic trends and how they affect the markets. Our chairman, Jay Clayton, will be joined by Gary Cohen, former director of the U.S. National Economic Council, and Glenn Hutchins, co-founder of Silver Lake Partners. The accomplishments of these individuals speak for themselves, and I will refer you to the program for their detailed bios. That said, I do want to note that this group brings unique perspectives and experience as global investors, advisors to governments and leading companies, crafters of public policy initiatives, and supporters of the study of markets. I'm sure you're going to appreciate their perspectives, and with that, please join me in welcoming our first panel.
Well, there it is, guys. Wow, did you guys catch what she was saying? And listen, we're going to hear some good things from the other guys as well, obviously, right? We're going to hear we're definitely going to hear some good things come from them as well. But did you catch when she said, there are some really striking points that we need to be paying attention to? And she's talking from the SEC's perspective, especially. What did she talk about? She said one striking factor was what? Global debt. In fact, she gave us the numbers, 255 trillion. 255 trillion, which makes up 32%, I believe, of GDP. And then she also went on to mention the debt in the U.S. alone at 2 trillion, making up 50% of its GDP. It's the XRP radar antennas again, right? What did the XRP manifesto say? What? Uh-oh. What did the XRP manifesto say? That they were going to start talking about the global debt. And she's talking about the corporate debt, right? It was the corporate debt as well. 10 trillion corporate debt in the U.S. alone. 10 trillion corporate debt, right? That's what the XRP manifesto said that they were going to start talking about and start espousing. And that's exactly what they have been doing. John is in the building. What's going on, John? Appreciate you being here, my friend. Fran Ho Tiek. How are you, Fran Ho? Fran Joe? XRP Feedline. What's going on? How are you? Now is the time to prepare for when you see if your money, so you don't waste time freaking out about it. Absolutely, that's exactly right. I did a stream about that the other day, XRP Feedline, about having your price points, knowing when you want to cash out, signing that thing, and perhaps if you're willing to do so, if you feel it's worth the risk, having those sell orders set Scott Tyner says, missed the notification, showed up late. Hey, no worries, brother. No worries at all, Scott. We just kind of went over the introduction of the fireside chat with the SEC between Jay Clayton, Glenn Hutchins, and Gary Cohen. Really good stuff. But guys, she talked about that, and I think it's really important that she brought that up, and that was the first thing she said. One striking factor was the global debt. I don't think there's no small reason why she brought that up initially. It's just to letting people in the audience know that we are well aware of that, and this is what we're going to be talking about. Now, I think this event took place in December, I believe December 4th. But this says for me that they're going to continue to have discussions like that, and they're going to continue to bring up the global debt, the corporate debt in the U.S. alone. They're going to start talking about these things, just like the XRP manifesto said that they would. But to hear it now coming from the SEC, I think is very poignant. Scott Tyner says, appreciate all of the content you put out each day. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I apologize that you guys have to put up with my bad OBS studio skills. My horrid OBS studio skills. OC Crypto's in the building. What's going on, my friend? Hey, Siege, hope you're having a blessed Sunday, brother. I am. Absolutely feel blessed. Glad I was able to catch your stream. I'm glad you're here, OC Crypto. Glad to see you here, my friend. Harley Cash is funny. Mr. Wendell is in the building. How are you, Mr. Wendell? Good to see you here. Out of the way, Jay is in the building. I think tomorrow is going to be huge. Well, I tell you, is that when the repo market does the expiration, or is that the 14th? It's going to be very, very interesting to see what's going to go on this week. Very, very interesting, right? Expiration of the repo market. Did anyone see this? I don't know if it was a motion to dismiss. Like, in other words, this is something that already has been put in and already has been submitted, or did that already happen and that's done? You know, you guys saw that document from the courts about the plaintiff and about Ripple and the plaintiff, or whichever way it is. Did you guys see that? Saw that on the top it said motion to dismiss. Did you guys catch that from the Telegram chat group? Nope, we don't know. That's the reality. We don't know. All we know, Harley Cash, you're right, but the reality is it doesn't mean that XRP is going to be used for that purpose at all. That's exactly right. I think it's interesting that Brad Garlinghouse just said from somewhere out of nowhere, it was either on the Ripple Insights or from Brad Garlinghouse, that the ODL could be used in the repo market. I just think Kime said that on the stream a couple of streams ago, and I just thought that to be very, very interesting that would even be brought up or mentioned. But you're right. It doesn't mean that XRP is going to be served for that purpose. That's correct. John is like, my bags are packed and I am more than ready for the bus to pick me up. Absolutely, right? Absolutely, John. I hear you, man. Yeah, that's very true. XRP feline. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes. When you're at the top, people can come at you. That's why companies like Apple are the most sued companies in history of being sued, right? Because when you're at the top, people come at you. That is without question. The court case is for only whether they filed late or not. That's correct. That is correct. One mullet. You're exactly right, bro. Thanks for sharing that. You said you don't believe the repo is not going to expire. You don't think that's going to expire. You think it's going to be extended. Isn't there a date for that? I think it's going to be settled, Jay, from a state or dismissed, whatever that would look like. That's what I'm hearing. Guys, 82 people on the stream. I appreciate you guys being here. 57 likes. If you didn't get a chance to smash a like on the way in, just collapse the chat. Go smash the like and come back and hang out. I know, right? Crypto Insomniac is in the building. Yo, what's going on, dude? What is going on? Guys, first thing she said, one striking factor is the global debt, right? And you know what we say here, right? The global economic crisis has zero patience and waits on no one. The global economic crisis has zero patience and waits on no one. And the global economic crisis is illiquidity. It is no small coincidence that the people from the IMF, the people from the Feds are talking about liquidity management tools and it being a factor for the banks. It's not a coincidence that they're mentioning that. It's no small coincidence that she mentioned that the SEC has been for years talking about interconnectedness, or in other words, inoperability, in my opinion, leverage, and liquidity. I hope your XRP feline says, to me, I can't see XRP being less than Ethereum in price. It's just a matter of time before XRP is worth hundreds. I hear you, and I hope you're right, XRP feline. Yep, that's exactly right, and it is Harley Cash. You're right about that to some extent, and the idea of always been is that in the end we were never meant to hold it. It was always meant for institutions. It was always meant to be in the banking institution, market maker ecosystem. It was not meant for retail. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow, but that's just the truth. And so they're although I think we are in a sense, I don't want to use the word need each other, but I'll use it, need each other. In the end, the ecosystem was always about institutions, banks, FIs, market makers, and takers. That was the ecosystem. It was not about retail, because this digital asset was meant to serve a different purpose. Harley Cash is like, XRP is not a stock. Why treat it like a stock? Yeah, it certainly is not. Michael Otu is in the building. How are you, Michael? The day for the repo is Doomsday, the 15th of January. Matt Baumensauer says, think of it like wholesale pricing. The more you buy, the better the price. Let me see. Did I miss anything? No, I don't know about the market going up on that news, because it's not really settling. Jake from State, it's not really settling the security issue. It's just it's on the whether or not that they filed too late in terms of filing, being able to even put in and submit paperwork for a lawsuit against Ripple in terms of it being a security. So that's the only thing that they're going to resolve there. And in the end, it'll just be another lawsuit gone by the wayside, right? That's all it'll be. A.Z.Cardenas. How are you? What's up, C's? Enjoying your stuff. Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here, my friend. So, guys, let's go over some of the stuff that some of these guys, some of these significant guys in the capital markets, global investing space had to say on that video. And I titled the stream. I titled the streams one of the things that Gary Cohn said, right? He says the U.S., we used to kind of reserve this spot as the number one player in the markets, right, in capital markets. And so we could afford to, hey, baby girl, we could afford to, take our time, kind of evaluate things and, blah, 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 before we decide to make a move on something, whether it be putting in regulations or whatever it might be. And I like what Gary Cohn said. He said, we can no longer be the slowest moving animal and survive, right? Talking to the regulators, right? We no longer have that luxury. We have to move. And you guys, I'm telling you, you got to watch that video. Because both Gary Cohn and Glenn Hutchins was just saying to the SEC, you guys have got to move faster than this. You've got to move faster than this. We are already behind. Glenn Hutchins said that. Glenn Hutchins said we are already behind. It's not we're getting behind. We're already behind. And Jay Clayton asked a very, very interesting question. He said, is technology going to change conventional wisdom when it comes to the marketplace? And I think that it absolutely 100% has to. It has to, because technology is advancing at a rapid pace. We just can't take the old way that we used to think and apply it to new and emerging technology. Matt Baumensauer says, I'll bet the SEC has regs done within months from now. Yep. It's feeling like that. It's feeling like the summer of 2020 is going to be very, very telling. It looks like the market, in terms of the TA, is going to begin to do its thing for alts right in the spring. And I think with that will come some type of awareness in terms of regulation that's going to just cap off the next 6 months, that is going to make this better than 2017's bull run. That is what I believe. Ronnie Mayhair. What's going on, Roddy? Good to see you in the stream, my friend. Great, live again. Invested some more in XRP. Will do coming month also. Cool for you, man. Good for you. Really digged all info about Ripple XRP found. Like always, awesome live siege. Thank you, Ronnie, man. I appreciate you being here, my friend. 90 people on the stream and 65 likes. Let's keep it going, guys. TJ Jackson's in the building. TJ keeps sneaking in on these streams on me. How you doing, TJ? What's going on, my dude? Franho is like, patience, guys. This is a marathon. I got 10 years to wait if needed. I hear you. It is a marathon. It is a marathon. And it's chess, not checkers, without question. TJ Jackson is in the building, guys. What's going on? There you go. What's up, TJ? Absolutely. Absolutely. What is going on? 416 crypto in here? I didn't see 416 crypto. So what are the other notes that I took? Embrace digitization. Gary Cohn was not, I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to this, but he wasn't a big fan of crypto assets. But did you notice that Holly mentioned digital assets in her introduction? She said digital assets, and I love that, because I think that's what it's ultimately going to be. They may say virtual assets or digital assets, but ultimately that's what the Fed and the IMF and the SEC, this is the language that they're going to start to use and use always. Assets, digital assets, virtual assets, but I like digital assets better. I love that Fidelity came up with the Fidelity Digital Assets, FidelityDigitalAsset.com. Some very, very interesting things that they said there. I'm going to play something from minute 15 that I thought was very, 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 very telling. And, Glenn Hutchins, Ripple investor, Now, does that mean that he doesn't own any XRP? We can't say that. We can't say that he does, but we can't say that he does not. Just like Ken Curson was an early investor in Ripple along with Glenn Hutchins, Ken Curson actually said that he also purchased XRP, invested in XRP when it was less than half a cent. Right? So that's the thing. So let me play another part that I thought was really, really, really significant, because the statement that this dude makes about the U.S., I'm telling you, is so important. And it's quite frankly, it's the reason why, in my humble opinion, why China is able to move ahead faster than the U.S. D-Mac is in the building. What's good, D-Mac? Checking in from Philly, brother. I appreciate you being here, my friend. Loving this weather, I know, right? 70s, bro. All right, let me play this for you guys. You guys said you don't need to see the picture. All right, let's see what's up, what's up, what's up. Just the sound. Let me go to this minute, because I thought this was pretty interesting. It's really like minute 15, but I'm going to start it at minute 14:40. Check this out, guys. Check this out. The Bullet CEO is in the building. What's good, dude? Eli, what's going on, man? Happy Sunday to you. Check this out. Just playing a little audio from the fireside chat with the chairman, Jay Clayton of the SEC, and Glenn Hutchins, founder of Investment. What is it? Investment Partners. Get the name of it. And Gary Cohn. Two smart guys, very, very responsible for global investing, but also setting the pace and the mainstay for any kind of adoption. They go to these guys to ask them questions and get their input and put them on boards.
But we are already behind. In other words, the payments modalities in Asia are much better than they are in the United States. And this is it's not primarily a regulatory problem. It's primarily a legacy issue associated with the credit card companies, because the payments system in the United States is the only place I've seen in my career as a technology investor where the introduction of technology caused the price to go up. Usually, we've had these cost curves that drive prices down, like we talked about in securities trading. But in payments, they've gone up because Apple Pay adds a quarter, Stripe adds a quarter of a point, Square adds maybe even a point more. So payments go from 2% to 2.225 to 2.75. That's actually ripping off the consumer and making financial inclusion harder to accomplish rather than easier. And if you actually thought about the broader purpose of this kind of organization like this, we ought to actually be out there facilitating the introduction of technologies to take these prices down, to increase consumer fairness and expand financial inclusion. So I think about it that way.
No, I think, and to be clear, I'll give my usual disclaimer that my views are my own, and I'll also say I'm not going to pass views on any particular company. You guys are welcome to. But I will say the one thing we are devoted to here over our 85 years is that transparency in pricing benefits the consumer.
Absolutely.
And that is clear. And to the extent technology enables us to provide transparency in pricing, it benefits investors and consumers. All right, so let's shift from technology.
We're not going to shift. It's going to keep coming back in every answer. Okay, just so you know.
I've never ever been able to control Gary Cohn. Okay, monetary policy. Now I know you have a disclaimer.
Right.
You're a board member at the New York Fed, and your views here are your own, not.
Okay. So did you guys per Winkles? Oh, Brian, what's going on, man? Alex E, be cool, bro. Take care, man. Enjoy church, bro. Talk again soon, my friend. Did you guys catch that? In his 20 plus years being a global investor in technologies, Glenn Hutchins states that he has never seen, never, ever seen, the U.S. is the only in fact, he said, the U.S. is the only nation with the introduction of new technology where the introduction of new technology increases the price instead of decreasing the price to the consumers. The United States is the only one. And he says it's not because of regulators necessarily, it's because of the legacy credit card companies that with the advent of new technology, they raise their prices a percentage, 0.5%, 0.25%, 10%. And he says that ends up ripping off the consumers. So when I did my drive time video earlier today, I think I titled it Lower Cost Technology plus Financial Inclusion equals Ripple, right? And so think about what he said. He says we ought to be facilitating the introduction to technology to take prices down and expand financial inclusion, right? We ought to be facilitating the introduction to new technology that takes the prices down and expands financial inclusion, right? So what is this technology? And I can tell you my personal reason why Apple Pay and Stripe and Clear in the past have been able to, with new technology, instead of charging 2%, now it's charging 2.25%, right? Or Clear, if they're charging 2.25%, now they go to 2.5%. Is, in my opinion, they were able to do that because there wasn't a technology out there in place that could actually bring down the cost of a thing with its technology until 2012, when Ripple came onto the scene. Because Ripple and this technology, they made a decision that they were going to make it not only fast, but they were also going to make it cheap. They were going to make sure that the savings went, that the technology allowed for the savings to go to the consumer. We've already heard about MoneyGram and Flash FX, right? These different companies talking about the savings that they're passing on to the consumers. So it's just not fast. It's just not cheap. It is allowing for the product to get, the savings to get to the end consumer. And because of that, it embraces, it prompts, it promotes financial inclusion. And I think that's really, really important, right? So, we could talk about transparency, but if we can just see that the prices are higher, then we're just seeing that the prices are higher, right? Just being able to see it is obviously that's a step forward, but we need to take it even further. We need to take it even further and make it where the savings gets to the consumer, which would allow for financial inclusion and not have banking the unbanked just be a catchphrase that people from the Fed and the IMF and the SEC just like to kind of say, because it sounds good. 416 Crypto, appreciate you being here, my friend. Good afternoon. Right, Paul, exactly. And thanks, by the way, for putting that in one of the comments on one of my videos. I did look at that as well. I wish I would have been able to put it in an email, but I wasn't. But I did look at that about that eventual meeting coming up in March. So I appreciate you doing that, Paul. Cookie Mutt is in the building. How you doing, Cookie? I think I saw you coming here earlier. XRP Panic is in the building. How are you, XRP Panic? Darcy B, XRP, how are you? Georgios is in. Georgios T, what's going on, Georgios T? It's a good point. He says, this feels like the pulling back of the bow when you want to shoot the arrow. Pulling back the bow is XRP. When you want to shoot the arrow, it's the price. It will explode at some point. How about that? I like that. Yeah, I know, right, TJ? I know, same way. Growing up watching futuristic type movies, I always wondered how all the AI would be connected so seamlessly. Exactly. But that Glenn Hutchins makes a really, really good point there. And he actually said in there, they're ripping off the consumer, right? The U.S., the only nation, right? The only nation. He said we're behind when it comes to payment modalities. We are, in fact, behind. And we are the only nation with the advent, with this new technology that we stumble upon or we create, that the prices go up instead of going down. And he says that point of fact is ripping off the consumer. So he was speaking loud and clear, right? Loud and clear to, to people like Apple Pay and Stripe and Square, because there's no reason to it. They, instead of making more money, they chose to make more money with the new technology instead of, um, bringing that savings on to the end user, which is the consumer. Eli, what's going on, my friend? Check out the title of 2020 to 2030 Digital Asset Outlook, Tokenization, DeFi, and the Next Escape Moment for Financial Markets. Where is that, Eli? Where is that article, my friend? I will definitely, without question, go check that out. Where is that? Definitely would go check that out. Ronnie says one bank here in the Netherlands already used Ripple Tech by ACI worldwide. If I send money from my bank to a different Dutch bank, instant transfer and received by the other side. How about that? How about that? Thanks for sharing that, Ronnie. It will pop up. Okay, I'm looking for it. You say Google it. Google it. It'll pop up. Let me take a snapshot of that. Sure. 2020 to 2030 Digital Asset Outlook, Tokenization, DeFi, and the Netscape Moment for Financial Markets. Ronnie, that sounds a lot like what you pointed out. Ronnie. Paul, that sounds a lot like what you pointed out to me in the comments. Let me see. I know I like in that title. Let's see. There it is. I know I like in that title. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna Google that and definitely check that out for sure.
Your views here.
But that's a very, very important point, and I applaud him. I applaud Glenn Hutchins for actually bringing that up and making people understand that is a concern. So, guys, shout out to Aiden Trading. If you have not watched this video, guys, like we say on this channel, we're about leveling up our XRP IQ here. We're about leveling up our digital asset space IQ here, and we are about leveling up our financial space IQ. So, I would encourage you, when you get some time, to check out this video. It's on Aiden Trading's channel. Aiden Trading channel, one word. Go check him out. It's this recent video, I believe. It is 100% worth the look and the hear, right? It's 100% worth it. What else I got here? Anything with Mark Carney? They talked about Mark Carney and what he mentioned about no room for anything else to do, but perhaps look into some other thing, some new type of currency. With the markets, they recommended some good books I'm going to check out. Maybe you want to check them out as well. The Perfect Weapon, Glenn Hutchins recommended that book as a good read, right? Digital Securities, the End of Cash. I've heard of that title before. It's supposed to be a good book as well. They talked about payment rails and blockchain token protocol, and obviously that was Hutchins, right, who has a better overall view on the whole digital asset space, in my opinion. I am rocking a Note 9, Matt Baumensauer. That is exactly right, brother. Talked about the biggest, but I thought it was interesting that Gary Cohn, who was not as familiar with digital assets, ultimately realized that the friction in the payment system was huge. He actually said that. I thought that was significant because he wasn't a big fan of crypto assets. He was a fan of, taking the fiat and making it digital. He was a fan of that, but not an overall fan of digital assets. Guys, 100 people in the stream. I appreciate you guys being here. Guys, if you didn't have a chance to smash the likes on the way in, just X out the chat real quick. If you're enjoying the content, go smash the like. We want to keep that streak up of consecutive streams where we have just as many likes as we have viewers. You the man, Matt Baumensauer. Appreciate you being here. I Bart Charlie Lee's Bags is in the building. What's going on, my friend? Danny Loff is in the building. What's going on, Danny Loff? M. Ant. What's up, my friend? How are you? No worries, Danny Loff. No worries at all. Yeah, so for some reason, the notifications are just not getting out. Danny Loff says, hello, I didn't know you were streaming, or I would have been here sooner. Hey, no worries, brother. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to have to start doing some type of post or something that kind of can give everybody kind of a notification when I'm going live, because YouTube, it is not working. Did I miss anyone else coming in? Nope, I didn't. Jaker's in the building. How are you? I'm doing outstanding, my friend. Good to see you here. It says, Ronnie says, well, all our banks in the Netherlands use instant payments by our normal bank accounts since October 2019. So our country is a forerunner. They use ACI, which equals RippleNet. There you go, right there. Someone who knows from experience, been using it. Yeah, and that's what they said, man. Both Glenn Hutchins and Gary Cohn said that the United States is behind, especially in terms of payments. He said payment modalities. We are behind China. We're just behind. And China has some advantages, I guess, because they just kind of control the thing and they move forward with it, right? They don't necessarily wait for regulators to kind of overlook and oversee things. But it's China, right? Me personally, give me the good old US of A any day, baby. When Mel says, Crypto Siege tweeted, I get your tweets. Tweet what, bro? What you want me to tweet, man? Oh, you mean tweet the notifications and I'm doing a video. Gotcha. Yep. I can do that. Ant, what's going on? Instant payment, not settlement. Watch out for the difference. Correct. But Ronnie was saying that in the Netherlands, he bank to another bank, and he's in another. If he sends something to another Dutch bank, it's there. I got you, brother. I got you, Windmill. Absolutely, man. You know what? Danny Loff is staying. Oh, Danny Loff. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Danny. I appreciate that. So this is the thing that I was trying to find out about Stellar, because I keep hearing there's some things going on with Stellar. It was supposedly something on Coinbase, but I did not see it, Danny Loff. Did you see something? Danny Loff says the Stellar Lumens issue is the same issue Ripple was having with him at Ripple. He can't stay in his own lane. He has caused a rift with Stellar and IBM. We all figured you were talking about Jeb McCaleb, brother. So do you know this because maybe you hold Stellar and you're able to maybe get in some of their Telegram grads, or because it feels like you're in the know because maybe you're part of the community. How do you know these things about Jeb? Even I Bought Charlie's Back says the same thing. Says Jeb equals not a team player. But I could swear it was on somebody's stream, and I believe it was Kimes' stream. Somebody in that stream was imploring the people there to go check out Coinbase. Go check out the Coinbase. Stellar, 7 people at Stellar are doing something crazy, blah, 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 blah. I went over to Coinbase. I didn't see anything. I went to Coinbase to try to find, because it was something that the 7 people were doing with the burns. Like, it's essentially the holders were being harmed by these 7 people. So the Stellar Lumen holders, the hodlers in that community, were being harmed by these 7 people. But I don't know where that is. What is public knowledge? That Jeb is not, he doesn't like to play team, or this news about the 7 people harming the rest of the community? Because this is what I was seeing in that stream. So what's all over the net? TJ Jackson, it's public knowledge. What's public knowledge? I definitely know about Jeb not being a team player, but what I'm talking about is this person in the stream said that the 7 people from Stellar, whether it be the Stellar Foundation, whoever, were harming. They were doing things that were harming the hodlers, and that it was on that, and that was on Coinbase, but I did not see it. When Muller says that Stellar was keeping the coins they were supposed to retire for inflation. Oh, what Daniel Off is like, listen, I hold 1.6 million USD in assets, and I stay in the know and dig those rabbit holes. Hey, I hear that, Daniel Off. It's Jeb's way or trouble. Okay, yeah, and that's a bad way to be, man. When you're when you're out in front, right, you're the dude out in front. That's a bad way. The my way or the highway stuff, especially in this decentralized digital asset space that we're talking about operating in, Danny Law. We can't be my way or the highway type of deal, right? Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. When Muller's like, Jeb is a tool all over the net. So when Muller, you're saying Stellar was keeping the coins they were supposed to burn? They were keeping the coins they were supposed to retire for inflation. Youch. Ouch. That's not good though. That's not good. I didn't see any tweet from BitLord. I'm not sure I paid much attention to BitLord Sajaker. Daniel Off is like, look, I'm in this thing big time, and I dig down some rabbit holes. I hear you, bro. Crypto C. Oh, thank you, Wimella. I emailed you a link to the article. Perfect. I will look for my email on that, man. That's I don't know a lot about digital asset space, but I know that's not cool. That you're supposed to be burning it and you're keeping it for yourselves. Ouch. Oh wow, Danny Loft. How about that? I hear you, bro. Danny Loft's like, yo, I'm in the digital asset space. I'm not playing. And I'm not playing. I hear you, Danny Loft. I hear you, bro. So Jake or Xrp BitLord. I thought he was a Bitcoin Maxi guy. He's saying that XRP is going to be $220 or $2.20. Yeah, how do you check the wallet numbers on that rich list, Danny Law? Yeah, I have a feeling that Danny's got some big time heightened security around his digital assets. I have a feeling he's not worried about that at all. Ronnie Me here. Thanks, Ronnie, man. Thanks for the $2 super chat, my friend, because you're an inspiration for XRP community. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that, my friend. Oh, Oh, well, let's take care of that, Danny. I know that you're a mod on some other big channels, so I appreciate you even being here, man. Let's do this. Let's change that all up. Michael O2 says Stellar has locked up 50% of his holdings for 10 years in Nostro in a Nostro account. How about that? Wow, it's crazy. Ledger.exposed. And you can check your wallet number on there, bro? Daniel Loft, you can check your wallet number on there? Man, that's good to know. I'm gonna have to there's a link for you guys. There's a link right there, Daniel Loft. Thanks to Daniel Loft for contributing to the channel, sharing his wisdom with the community. Okay, it says enter your account wallet address. So what do you put there, Danny? Enter a wallet address, multiple addresses, or an amount. Just the digits. I'll have to play around with that. Okay. Enter a wallet address. Okay. Multiple addresses. Or an amount. Okay. That's an interesting little thing. I'm going to play around with that. You guys got the link. There's the link. Danny Loft, man, he hooked us up. Danny Loft hooked us up. So there it is. What's going on, Gwen? How are you, my friend? I appreciate you being here. Yeah, according to Vincent Wilson, 50K XRP is a lot. XRP Panic says, yeah, you just put the amount of your holdings and it tells you the wallet number just upon them. Okay. What? That's right, man. Every time you buy XRP, it's no secret, man. You know that, right? As soon as you purchase some XRP, it's on the ledger. Nick Miranda has a different take on Stellar, guys. We got to respect his different take, right? He says IBM owns Stellar, and everybody knows that the U.S. is all about IBM. Why do you think XRP is joining Stellar? Is XRP joining Stellar? I didn't hear anything about XRP joining Stellar, Nick. Stellar is going to handle the USA transaction with XRP. With XRP, it is the true hustle. So I don't know about any joining with Stellar and XRP. I'm certainly open to checking and reading on something if you have something, Nick, about that. Danny Law says your wallet address. So which wallet address are we talking? Your Ledger Nano wallet address? Is that the wallet address we're talking? I mean, I can put anything in there, but it's funny, I don't know how you can just put the amount of XRP you hold and then it can tell you your wallet number. But I'm going to play around. Matt says 10K XRP is plenty. Hi, greeting from Vietnam. Hi, my friend. Appreciate you being here, man. What time is it in Vietnam right now? Danny Loft, man. I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that. Without question, I'll check that out. I'll definitely check that out with a question. Interesting. Very, very interesting thing. But yeah, so I don't, here's the thing. I just think as XRP hodler, here's the thing. We're in a blessed spot. Being early in the digital asset space is another blessed spot. I think, guys, listen, if you haven't had a chance to check out that video with this fireside chat with Jay Clayton, Glenn Hutchins, and Gary Cohn, you owe it to yourself to level up your financial IQ, your overall financial IQ in this space. They do talk about digital assets. Glenn Hutchins really talks about it. Jay Clayton brought it up. And let's not forget that Holly, don't know her last name, unfortunately, she opened up this fireside chat talking about one striking factor that we cannot ignore and that they're paying attention to, and that is the overall global debt, which is $255 trillion. And again, it speaks to the XRP manifesto that D and I talked about that they were going to start espousing, start talking about in mainstream media. And she also talked about the corporate debt in the U.S. alone is $10 trillion in the U.S. alone. Global debt, corporate debt, just like in the XRP manifesto. So we can't not forget about that, right? We cannot forget about that. So yeah, that was a very, very, very telling. Oh, you know, was one thing that I thought was huge. Both Glenn Hutchins and God, I keep forgetting his name, Gary Cohn said, because this is what Clayton said. Clayton's like, we want to make sure everything is transparent, right? And so if there's an 8% to 18% that we as consumers are paying, the SEC wants to make sure that we realize this is the interest, this is the amount that we're paying, right? And if the company is making 8 to 18%, this is what we need to know that they're making, quote unquote, 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 right? And both Gary and Glenn Hutchins said, we're trying to get rid of this 8 to 18%. Like they're saying, like Gary Cohn said, for the life of me, I can't understand when I'm driving around in New York that I see so many of these payday loan shops around. Like, why do we have those? They both said, like, we need to get rid of these 8 to 18% because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. And Gary said that both he and Glenn Hutchins were working with companies that were changing that. They're going to get rid of this 8 to 18%, having to pay 8 to 18%. They're going to get rid of it. Right? So it's about leveling the playing field and not having these companies in these positions to make ginormous amounts of money off of the consumers. Danny Loft, man, thanks for the $10 super chat, brother. I appreciate that. For security, I run 2 nanos. One stays in the bank box. I have the address to it whitelisted. How about that? So you don't need a device to deposit. I didn't know you could do something like that. So I have the address to it whitelisted, so you don't need the device to deposit to. Cool. I have 1.58 million XRP on that device. Very nice, Daddy. With 40 BTC and 2,500 Bitcoin Cash. How about that? Danny Loft, throwing out the numbers. You are strong, dude. You are strong. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for you. I am happy for you. I have 1.58 million XRP on that device with 40 Bitcoin and 2,500 BCH. I hear you, bro. I hear you. It is obvious to me that you are a fan of the greatest digital asset ever created. How about that? XRP. No one can get to my holdings and I legally carry. I hear you, dude. I hear you, man. Doubt it. Aaron M says one thing. Eli, why the hell would you say how much you have, Danny? Thanks, Mullet. How late am I? XRP Joe. Yep, let's move. Yep, did that. C's. Yes. And so here's the thing, right? And the thing that is always so we have to always pay attention to, is that we don't know. The bad guys are always watching. So you have to be careful with sharing how much you hold, sharing, because then what it does is promote other people who might not have the level of security that you have. They start talking about what they hold. And the bottom line is the bad guys are always watching, so we have to be careful. We have to be careful with that. Brad Barlinghouse is in the building. Good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon to you as well. Danny Loft says, I made a lot in the 2017 bull run. And so you're one of the few, right? And And I think it's really important to know as well, Danny, that there were so many people like myself that rolled the bull run up in XRP and then rolled it down, did not execute the option to cash out, did not take the profits along the way. That was a lot of people, right? Absolutely, a lot of people, right? A lot of people who didn't do it, right? And I know there was a Cointing203s on Twitter as well. He was one of the people that actually did well with XRP during that time. So, but I know a lot of people did not. Mr. B just did a video on exit strategies, and he pointed out as well. That he wrote it up and wrote it down as well. Did not cash out. You know what I mean? Did not cash out. And so, you know what I mean? And so it's very, very important I like to know when people, like how many people have you heard about that did well with XRP? Like we can only suspect, right? We suspect that someone like Barry Silver did well with XRP. So it was nice to hear from Cointing203 when he was on the stream how well he did, So that was, that's hugely important as well, right? It's hugely important as well to know that also, right? I bought Charlie's bag. That's a great point, man. There are bot sniffers looking for bag holders and quantities, so beware. Some can get IP addresses too. That's exactly right. So you got to be very, very careful because look, listen. In the end, the bad guys are always watching. They're always listening. They're always paying attention, and everyone's security might not be at the highest level possible. And they watch. They trust me. They listen and they watch and they pay attention. And so we don't want anyone to get hurt by telling how much they hold and sharing how much they hold and thinking this much is this much or asking because, you could get yourself in a really, really, really bad situation. And we don't want anyone to get harmed, not on this channel, but anyone to get harmed, period, but especially not on this channel. So just be real, real careful about that. We don't want people getting in the habit of sharing what they hold because not everyone's security is up there at that heightened levels where they know they're good. TJ Jackson's like, most people who made money in 2017 are no longer hanging around the space. How about that? Yeah, that's probably very, very true. How about that? Ronnie says, friend of mine was in the 2017 run. He had nothing, no job, living with parents, and over a few weeks he had €1 million. Laugh out loud. Because he mined in the beginning days. How about that? Lucky him. Good for him, right? So that's kind of the deal there, guys. And so, guys, check out that video with Aiden Trading did with the SEC with Clayton and Hutchins and Cohen. It is a definitely good listen. It's only an hour and 8 minutes long. They talked about what else? What was the other thing that I wanted to carry there? Interconnectivity, leverage and liquidity, and increased globalization and cyber risk. And I thought it was important. I thought it was significant that she said that this is something that I've been talking about for years. I think that's important to know. I really, really do think that's important to know. Interconnectivity, she's calling it. I think that's code for interoperability, leverage, and liquidity. Again, guys, listen, the global economic crisis has zero patience and waits on no one. And we all know that XRP, in the end, it has all these other different use cases, right? That it can do this. Settlement, obviously, is a huge part in payments, but it is, in fact, a liquidity provider. This is the known thing, and this is the thing that we cannot forget. And I wish someone in this chat knew, whether it was Ripple Insights or something Brad Garlinghouse said somewhere or Schwartz said somewhere. But Kimes said that it was at the end of that stream with Cryptopolis, Kimes said that it was either Ripple Insights or someone from Ripple, said that the ODL could be used in the repo market. And I'm just trying to figure out where that was and why was that mentioned. Was it like an XRP chat and Schwartz got on there or something? I never saw that, but he pointed that out to Cryptopolis at the end of the stream. And Cryptopolis is like, really? I didn't hear that. I didn't see that. Yep. I would love to see Newell Jordan. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Newell Jordan says, I love the title. Dope title. And what you're saying is, thank you, man. I appreciate that, my friend. When Muller's got to go. All right, bro. When Muller, be safe, brother. Well, got to run. Have a great day, people. Hit the likes, please. Thank you, When Muller. I appreciate that, bro. All right, guys. Listen, again, I'm going to say it one more time. Go check out that video, Aiden Trading. It's the SEC Jay Clayton with Glenn Hutchins. I keep forgetting the name. Glenn Hutchins and Gary Cohn. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this video up like I do all my videos and remind you of this. And that is old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye. Hold on. Daniel off, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat, bro. I got to throw that in there. I appreciate that, my friend. Times thinks XRP will be set at gold spot price, adjusted daily in London markets. Yep, I heard that. I remember that. All right, guys. Listen, have a great Sunday, and we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow sometime for sure. Have a great day, guys.